Okay, so I've already covered bad behavior in the credit generation section. I'm going to finally address how to fix some of the issues with offsets. I've touched on some of this before. And I'm also going to talk about some solutions and general trends that are out there in the carbon credit or offset market. So, how to fix? Well, one of the big problems is too many cheap credits, and under CDM we've got 4.2 billion credits. And this doesn't really encourage active creation of new carbon credits that are really going to make a difference. And so the solution is obviously to remove these historical carbon credits from the system. There's also quite a good deal of double counting that goes on, and so you'll have governments counting sequestered carbon at a national level, and the same credits may be used by individuals within industry. So, and there's also there's no global immutable ledger for carbon credits, so there is double counting that goes on continuously, and there's a lot of initiatives around building a global immutable ledger, including one that we're trying to run ourselves, and I'll come to that a little later. So the third thing really in relation to the credits is the variance in quality, and really from here on in we need high transparency. We need around where carbon credits are generated. We also need science-based evaluations of the amount of carbon that's being sequestered, and what we really don't need is more clear fell schemes and planting of palm oil to generate carbon credits. That's definitely not what we want. Okay, so just in terms of the technical solutions that are out there and the general trends, in terms of general trends, it's towards high quality carbon in the offset market, and that the amount of carbon sequestered is accurate, and it's the process by which that calculation is arrived at is transparent. So there's a big emphasis around provenance, and there's also a big move towards schemes being nature-based. And of the nature-based schemes, which I've touched on before, they're forestry, farming, and fields. And forestry in particular is being given emphasis. So there's various players out there right now, and there's, I guess, the leader of the pack would be Indigo Ag. They are concentrating on wheat and soy, and so they give broadacre farmers around about 15 USD per metric ton of carbon sequestered. And they're also building a carbon registry and a marketplace as well, but it largely relates to members of their scheme. There's Sylvia Terra, and they are concentrating on forestry, both old growth and also commercial plantation. They're an established player in the forestry intelligence field, and they're leveraging AI to analyze satellite imagery and to use that as a basis for calculating the amount of carbon sequestered. They're also building a registry as well. We've also got another player recent to the market, and particularly well-backed candidate from Microsoft, and they are essentially curating forestry schemes and using AI again to calculate the amount of carbon that is sequestered in forestry through analysing images of from satellites and aerial photography. And they're also building a registry as well. And I think their registries largely consist of their own carbon rather than everybody else's. And finally, we have my little company. We're a Leitrim-based company, and we're using machine learning on satellite images to calculate carbon captured by land use. We are starting in forestry. We're teaming up with a company called TreeMetrics, who are an established player in this forestry intelligence stroke management area. But we do want to move into all land use. And our ultimate aim is to pay farmers and foresters for any carbon that they lock away, and making carbon into a cash crop. And we also want to grade this carbon as well, in terms of what the sustainability and biodiversity associated with the sequestered carbon is. And we're also very keen on creating a registry for both current and historical carbon, so that we can, shame is maybe the wrong word, but motivate companies who want to advertise the fact that they are carbon neutral to use higher quality, more recent carbon offsets. So that's a project we're working on right now, and we would particularly like government input on that. So that's it. Thank you very much. Bye.